Home improvement, it's something we all deal with, and these books are a beautiful guide on keeping your home up to date, as well as having some of the best product illustrations that I think I've ever seen. So let's take a look at these. Hey everybody, welcome to this video. Today I just wanted to go through and maybe take a look at some older books that I found recently that really have particularly beautiful product illustration and very good instruction, I think, on maintaining just home maintenance. But maybe before I get started, this is Beyond the Village. We're a small online antique store. You can go over to our website here at btvdesign.com. We have a wide variety of vintage antiques wares, and the sales from this website are what sort of helps us keep the lights on here. So with all that being said, we'll get into it. So these books, they're part of a series from Time Life Books called Home Repair and Improvement. And I came across these recently. It's a pretty big series. There's a huge number of books on a wide variety of topics. The three I picked up were plumbing, working with wood, and then the doors and windows book. And I thought it might just be worth kind of highlighting and showing these off a bit to kind of show some of the illustrations that are inside. So with that being said, I'll kind of do a quick flip through here. One thing that's really been standing out to me lately as I've been kind of collecting books and buying more books is there a pretty big noticeable difference between older books that were published in the 60s, the 70s, kind of at the apex of design versus what's being published now. I think somewhere along the way, publishing books became kind of one of the last vehicles for monetization for creators. And there's a noticeable downgrade, I think, in just the quality of information that's given, as well as just like the education of the general public. And these books I thought were a particularly good highlight of that. I mean, just right off the bat, you can kind of see the typography is super clean, really well laid out. Images and instructional information. Just plumbing is one of those topics I think that's incredibly complicated. It's one of the few things that I think people really hesitate to touch in their home just because making mistakes can have disastrous consequences. But the reality is a lot of this stuff is very simple. And you can really see, I mean, these illustrations are just absolutely beautiful. The color placement, the type, the layout, the line weight between the way like this hand is separated from the background illustrations of what they're working on. Great call outs, super clear, clean typefaces. It's just really, really beautiful illustration that sort of stuck out to me when I was looking at this. Layouts like this are just really great step by step. Immediately I can understand this. Not too much text explaining the process, just enough for you to kind of get your head around sort of these broader concepts and just common problems like how to unclog a drain. I think typically now this is one of those things that we go to YouTube and we type in and we'll spend 20, 30 minutes watching videos about this. But the reality is that if you have a book like this in your library and you can just reference it really quick, with a super clean illustration, sometimes that's really all you need, and you can kind of move a little bit faster as you're working through some of these projects. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but another thing I think that's really worth highlighting is that homes really haven't changed much in, I would say, the last 30 or 40 years. And chances are if you're buying a home or you're renting an apartment, now it was probably built in around this era when these books were made, 50s, 60s, 70s. So a lot of these principles still hold weight. The construction and how this stuff is built really hasn't changed much. Absolutely beautiful exploded view here, kind of showing this this build up for this faucet head and how these parts come together, just really clearly communicated. The illustrations for this. So if you're looking at this and you're not a homeowner, you don't have any interest in this topic, I still think if you're a designer and you have a background in industrial design, this product is an absolutely just beautiful, beautiful reference. I mean, just the line work, how clean everything is. I'd be really curious to know what the process was for how some of this stuff was drawn. If it was done by hand, I mean, I'm sure it was done on paper, done by hand. Like these are definitely ink lines that are like, this hand had to be done with a brush, just the way some of these lines are whipping. But I just can't imagine like what they were looking at to be able to construct some of this stuff. If this was just done with pencils and building up perspective, or if they were, if they were looking at photo reference, or if they were taking photos. Some of these compositions are kind of in like a 3x2, which are like almost the size of like a full frame piece of film. So I do wonder if they had like underlays for some of this stuff. At least with the hands, but I mean, this is just incredible, super clean. Just proportions are perfect. Everything is completely realistic. So yeah, really, really cool. So that's the plumbing one. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. This video is brought to you by our online store, Beyond the Village. You can head over to btvdesign.com to shop a wide variety of vintage finds as well as antiques. Sign up for our mailing list, you get 10% off and you'll be the first to know about new drops. You can also follow us on Instagram if you prefer to get updates that way, at beyond_the_village. In our shop we sell a wide variety of antiques, everything from glass catch-alls to some books as well. So check that out if you're interested. Before you buy. You can shop the rug zine, which goes through kind of the history of antique and vintage Oriental rugs, as well as some of the best styles. Serapis are a particular favorite of mine. The Murano glass zine, which goes over what to look for if you're shopping for art glass, or if you'd like to learn a little bit more about art glass before you buy something from our shop, you can flip through this as well. And then finally, the pattern and texture zine, which features some of my 3D work that I've done in the past, as well as some just history on patterns, where patterns come from, how designers pull them from nature to architecture, and then everything in between as well. Lastly, we also have on our shop some merch. So I just had these hats made. You can get, they're fully corduroy, really high quality with kind of our embroidered logo on the front. So that's another way you can support us as well. Again, every purchase means a lot to us and helps us support our family and get that diaper money for our kids. So head over to our website, sign up for our newsletter, follow us on Instagram, and now back to the video. So I've also got one around doors and windows. It's funny, this is one I just used recently because we were having a problem where our door was sticking, and I was trying to pinpoint exactly what was going on. It ended up being the door jamb and kind of the way it was attached to the frame. But I don't know that I would have been able to like really break down that problem and pinpoint that without having, a really clear reference like this. Yeah, just beautiful work. And I would really, it'd be great to know the artist behind some of this. I mean, there's a lot of hours were spent by whoever was drawing this stuff. Yeah, just beautiful, beautiful colors. Just step-by-step guides like this. I think too now, with a lot of the way like installation instructions are kind of done in the modern age, there's almost like an oversimplification in the way a lot of this stuff is laid out, or it connects to an app that has a video. I just think like there's kind of been a step down in quality in comparison to the way that these used to be done. So yeah, just gorgeous, gorgeous work. Now, like I mentioned, these are part of a bigger set. I don't have any of the other ones. These are kind of the three that I personally came across. But if you're interested, I just put these up on the online store. So these are available now. So if you think this is interesting, or you are drawn to whether it's the illustration or the having this as a reference, having this as a guide, you can head over to the website and pick these up now. I'm asking $10 a piece, but I'm also regularly doing sales here and there. So if you like you're looking for a cheaper price, you can probably wait and find it that way as well. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope this was interesting and informative for you.